Cheers, friends.
Hey there.
Welcome to New Orleans.
Mardi Gras.
So New Orleans is famous for music, food, and Mardi Gras.
So what happens when you are on a restricted diet? In my case, I have to be gluten-free. And I come to such a foodie town where cake is king.
We're going to share with you some of the best gluten-free restaurants we could find.
We've researched a bit and we found some places before we got here that I'm really excited to try.
So grab your forks and let's dive into these flavors of the South.
Sadly, 2 weeks after our visit, the owners of Waffles on Maple went into early retirement. And this place was popular. We arrived shortly before closing. There were still people inside eating. They were still taking orders over the phone for pickups, and they were happy to accommodate all of us. We had read several articles that voted the king cake here at Waffles on Maple the best in New Orleans. Of course, we had to try it, so we bought one for the road and we snacked on it throughout our visit. The cake was dense and moist, sweet and cinnamony throughout, and the icing was not overpowering.
I ordered a sausage biscuit. This is something I haven't seen on a gluten-free breakfast menu before. The sausage was spicy, the biscuit was really buttery, and the combination together was super tasty. I enjoyed it. I would definitely get it again.
And the salsa was the saving grace of this dish. I ordered the Southwestern crepe, scrambled eggs, onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, cheddar cheese, and salsa. I felt the fillings just lacked seasoning. The crepe was good though. It was thin, held together well, and had a nice hint of vanilla.
Somewhere underneath all that powdered sugar are some gluten-free beignets.
The gluten-free beignets tasted exactly like beignets. The gluten-free version, however, is a bit denser, but spot on with the taste.
The only complaint about the beignet is that the center of it was still a little wet. Otherwise, it made for a great Café du Monde alternative.
So I ordered the Carmo salad, which is named after the restaurant, so I'm thinking it's their signature salad. It had rice and pieces of ham, sliced almonds, pineapple, avocado, cucumber, and a mango vinaigrette. So it sounded really nice and light and tropical, and it really was. The cucumber to me stole the show. It was refreshing, and it's exactly what I needed on a pretty chilly night here.
All right, so I ordered the pork terrafungo here at Carmo's. More of a traditional Caribbean kind of dish. We've had it in Puerto Rico. It's mashed plantain. And while plantain is kind of related to banana, it's not sweet at all. So it always reminds me of mashed potatoes. So it's a nice starchy base to the dish, and the real star is whatever they put on top of it. And this time I got this pork, which had a great tropical Caribbean kind of flavor to it. The pork was very succulent and it was very plentiful. Sweet, but not smoky like a traditional American barbecue. But I would come back. If I did, I'd probably try some other dishes. And it's nice that a lot of the dishes here are just naturally gluten-free.
While strolling in the French Quarter, we stumbled across another place that advertised gluten-free beignets. However, these were called callas.
So we got an order of callas, which is a rice flour-based beignet.
The backstory is really inspiring. The callas were made by slaves, and the slaves would sell these in order to purchase their freedom. And I really wanted to like these, but unfortunately I didn't.
we just had some delicious Mexican food. I ordered a bowl of the tortilla soup, and it comes just the broth. And the broth itself is super flavorful. It was a little spicy, but again, just super flavorful. And then you have a side plate with the condiments, and there's chicken, cilantro, radish, avocado, sour cream, lime, and homemade tortilla chips. And everything at this place on the menu is gluten-free. Soup was really good. We also ordered an appetizer, the queso fundido, and that was super delicious. Super cheesy, again, really flavorful, not spicy at all. It did have some chorizo in it. I would come back tomorrow if I could. It was that good.
Oh, and I got the tacos. One was chicken fajita, and the other was just carne asada. Both are really good, are very well seasoned. After I got midway through the chicken, it did taste a little too salty, but luckily we had the queso to kind of add at the top of it. Definitely worth a stop, especially if you're on Bourbon Street.
So we just finished eating at Ruby Slippers, and they have a pretty nice gluten-free menu. And the one thing that I noticed that makes their gluten-free menu a bit unusual from a lot of the restaurants that we go to is that the gluten-free version and the gluten version are actually the same price. I'm used to spending $6 to $8 more on my entree because it's gluten-free. I wasn't super hungry, so I just ordered side dishes of eggs and potatoes, and they were really good. I did take a bite of Robert's gluten-free sandwich. The bread was pretty tasty. I would actually come back and maybe order an eggs Benedict or even French toast with that bread. I think it would be quite delicious.
So I had their breakfast sandwich, which I believe they use udi bread, and that's the first time I've ever had udi bread. And it's actually pretty decent as far as gluten-free bread goes. It tasted a little bit like a wheat bread. The eggs were very soft and still moist. The bacon was not too crispy, so it's just a good sandwich. I probably would have liked it if they would have buttered and maybe grilled the bread, if that's possible. Sometimes gluten-free bread doesn't toast very well. The hash browns were seasoned with some salt, and we couldn't figure out what some of the other flavors were, but they were good. Pig candy bacon appetizer was also very good. It was delicious. It was a soft bacon. It was thick with a very light syrup on it, so the sweetness doesn't overpower. So it was like sweet and salty and savory. And it was really good. And it was only $5. I can't believe the value of the food here. Like everything we got was like, the most expensive was $10 or $10.50. I would definitely come back here again and would recommend you guys try it out. There are several locations all around New Orleans.
So we went to Sofia's for dinner. We had read that they had really good gluten-free pasta, which is hard, and the reviews were correct. They did. They had a great gluten-free linguine. We paired it with a pistachio pesto, kind of nutty, a little bit of lemon, delicious, super refreshing. Also ordered a gluten-free pizza. As gluten-free pizzas go, it was kind of in the middle of the road for me. I think if we had just cooked the pizza a little bit more, it would have been amazing, but definitely a place to try. So we ate dinner at Maïs tonight. Pretty much the entire menu is gluten-free. It's a lot of corn-based products that they use in their arepas and their empanadas. I did enjoy this place. We ordered a couple of appetizers. We ordered some steak empanadas, some tostones, and then a sampler platter with 3 different flavors of arepas on there: chicken, steak, and pork. I enjoyed the pork most, which is surprising. Usually I go for steak. But yeah, the pork was very flavorful. But to start, I ordered a red wine sangria, and it was super tasty, very cinnamony, unlike anything I've had before. That might have been the star of the show for me.
So the fried tostones were pretty decent. So it was like a fried plantains parmesan with the melted mozzarella and a sauce we couldn't really identify, but did seem tomato based. The empanadas were pretty good with a shredded beef filling. And yeah, overall, I would think the pork arepas were probably the best. The chicken ones had very strong lime, and there were cuts of bell pepper to give it kind of a nice crunch. And the pork was well seasoned with some pickled radishes on there that gave a little bit of sweetness to it. And the beef was shredded beef, a strong kind of salt taste to it. Again, I think there was a bit of the red sauce on there, but the beef is just a very strong, beefy flavor. The menu did look like it had a lot of tasty things on it, so if I was in the area, I'd probably come back and try it.
I ordered the crawfish etouffee and was not disappointed. This was a 1/4 pound of crawfish tails in a rich Cajun roux. Crawfish or crayfish or crawdads, they're known by several names. They kind of look like shrimp, but they're actually related to the lobster. It has the texture of a shrimp, but it's a little sweeter, kind of like crab. And a Cajun roux is a thick sauce with lots of flavorful seasonings.
The jambalaya had cut up pieces of sausage and chicken mixed in with the rice and the seasoning. It also came with a really crispy sausage link cut up on top. I really enjoyed eating this. Traveling with dietary restrictions is definitely a little leery, especially when you're going to a foodie town such as New Orleans. Doing the research, we found some great gluten-free restaurants. From breakfast to lunch to dinner, our meals definitely did not disappoint. There are some restaurants I wouldn't mind going back to again and again and again.
And again, we're very thankful for all the friends we've made here on YouTube and appreciate your continued support. And we love hearing your thoughts in the comments below. We're coming up on 500 new friends, and we have something very special for you all. So be sure to catch our next videos for more details, and we're really excited to do this. So until next time, friends, cheers!